of hockey, and we can leave our equipment and, they wash our gear, sharpen our skates, whatever we need. They make it as easy as possible. And, they've done an extremely good job the last couple of years setting that up.
With Brandon Montour, played at the World Championships this past summer, and 9 points. I mean, you fared extremely well at the tournament. I know it didn't go the way you guys wanted to as a team, but do you feel like, did you have a mindset going into that tournament or a goal that you wanted to leave a good taste in the mouths of Hockey Canada with the Olympics looming, and you feel you did that? You feel you accomplished that with your performance there?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime, especially when your season ends so early, you get an opportunity to play for, Canada. The players that played in the tournament, was, grateful to play with Nate and Sid and TK. The list goes on, the guys that, you played with. And it didn't work out. The results weren't there, but we enjoyed ourselves. The opportunity, like I said, to play with those guys and play well. And again, I think at this point in my career, the management with Team Canada and, the rest of the league knows kind of what I bring and a type of player I am. I think just with that, being around them, being able to play with those guys and obviously management that I haven't been able to meet over the years, I think that helped. And, that was one of the bigger reasons of, having the opportunity that we have now is to be in that tournament, and thought we did a good job at kind of representing.
You had a really good first season with the Seattle Kraken. You scored 18 goals this year, and I'm sure, you wanted to put yourself on the radar for the Four Nations team as much as possible. Now, you don't make the team, but are guys who aren't playing in that tournament at the time, you guys watching those games and thinking holy moly, this is some of the best hockey that we've ever seen? Did guys who didn't make the team really enjoy watching what was going on out there?
I think, everyone probably tuned in. The amount of text that we've shared over, that span of, bye week and stuff like that, everyone watched. But again, like you said, to get the elite of the elite, and we haven't had that in so long, perform and play against each other. And obviously nobody really knew how competitive it was going to be. But I mean, obviously for us, we knew. Extremely entertaining, obviously the best of the best. And, it didn't disappoint, that's for sure.
Well, what would it mean to you to become an Olympian? Performing under Canada at the World Championships is one thing and a massive accomplishment, but does the Olympics provide, something a little extra?
Yeah, I think Team Canada whenever you get the chance to play for them, for the country, obviously Olympics is, something that, not, I guess, a lot of people have on their radar, in a sense, but the opportunity to be an Olympian and be in the Olympics and kind of experience the whole thing as a group would be pretty extraordinary. And, I think looking back at the Four Nations, I, was hoping my name was at least involved with it. Obviously, going into Seattle as a new team and a new face in that organization, wanted to obviously do my part and help that team. I think it obviously helps when your team is, successful and playing in big games. So, I think hopefully we can start off with that, have a good start to the year, and then, the Olympics should be hopefully, in something that we look at, when the time comes. But to be an Olympian would be amazing, and hopefully I, could show and have the opportunity to do that.
In the meantime, you'll obviously, be playing again for the Seattle Kraken. You signed a long-term deal there. You look at the roster, and it's pretty clear that they've tried to assemble players that have won before, right? There's there's Chandler Stevenson, Jaden Schwartz. You go down the list. There's guys that have won Stanley Cups. Vince Dunn. How much of your winning experience do you bring to that locker room as you try and move this thing along in Seattle?
Yeah, I think a lot. I think, when you win, you experience the highs and lows. I've been a part of winning teams that, obviously have been all the way and lost, and obviously won as well. But I think that's huge for the young guys. Again, last year going in, I knew a lot of the faces, and, after the year, we we definitely underachieved. Nobody was happy with the results we had. I think anytime you don't make playoffs, but I think for our group, there's much more than that. I think we could get into the playoffs and, surprise some people. It's just a matter of executing. And obviously we did not do that really at all last year. And, how the year goes. It's long, it's draining, but you get on these, losing swings and you're out of the playoff picture pretty early. It's tough to kind of keep that, motor going. And I thought as the end of the year went, we got a little bit better, but again, I think we underachieved as a group. The faces that we have, the personnel that we have, the guys that we brought in with Mason and Ryan and a few other guys will definitely help us as well. But the new coaching staff as well, I'm excited to work with them. Lane and his group seem like they are excited and ready to go and systematically on page with, how our team operates. And now it's just a matter of us getting there and, again, surprising guys and surprising each other. I think that's the main thing, is getting the confidence with our group, the young guys and the older guys. And I'm excited to see what we can do.
With Brandon Montour, I'm not, sure if you care all that much what's going on at the U.S. camp, but I know it raised a couple eyebrows to see a young kid like Lane Hudson, who had 66 points in his rookie year in the NHL, not get an invite to the U.S. camp. Does that surprise you, considering someone who got to watch him play a couple of times on the ice this year?
Again, I haven't really looked at their roster, to be honest with you, but again, I don't know what they see. I would say for him, not being invited to that camp doesn't mean he's not going to make the team. I think he's still pushing and play well and turn some heads. And, no matter what, come that time when they decide on the roster, you never know, who they're going to pick or who gets hurt or, there's so many things that can happen. But again, the kid's obviously super talented, obviously on the smaller side. So I don't know if, that plays any factor in the way their selection goes. But, again, Montreal should be excited about having a player like that, and hopefully he continues to keep getting better and helping that team for sure.
Really appreciate taking time to join us today. Good luck at the camp next week. We'll be rooting for you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Brandon Montour, defenseman for the Seattle Kraken, Stanley Cup champion, and an invitee to the Team Canada orientation camp, which will be underway next weekend. And we're talking about Lane Hudson. Just surprised that he didn't get the call there, but I guess he's correct. Doesn't mean he's not going to make the team. He'll still have an opportunity.
Yeah, it's quite evident that you're on the outside looking in at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like Doug Armstrong and how he told us the goaltending position is still very much up for grabs, and there's a lot of goalies in the mix.
How much of that do you believe?
Okay, I have to
Jerry's
believe
percentage. Okay, Jerry's percentages that one of the three goalies he brought is not on the team for somebody else.
Are they all healthy?
Yes, all healthy.
All healthy?
Yeah.
18%.
So you're 73% chance.
They're all good.
Or an 83% chance that all three of those guys are there.
What's the math
Quick
on
math.
that?
83.
You're sure about that?
Yeah. 17 plus 18 is 100.
Oh.
Quick math.
Okay, I don't even remember what I said. Anyways, I'm thinking they're all going to be there. I'm quite heavily into the majority that those are going to be the three guys.
I would think so too.
Unless Logan Thompson is just like gangbusters and he's got like a 930 save percentage. But I think that's the one that sticks out for me.
Logan Thompson?
Yeah. If he was just had a torrid start to the year.
He's the guy that if you look at, Darcy Kemper is another player who, if he can get off to a really good start there, I think Darcy Kemper is a guy who last year, statistically, it was right there with Logan Thompson as like the best 1-2 punch and goal at the time when the team was selected and announced. It surprised people that neither of those two were invited to the team, let alone invited to the camp this summer. But still alive, Dougie Armstrong said, we spoke to, what did he say, like 5-6 goalies?
Yeah, well, 5-6 goalies.
Yeah.
So just inform them like you're still in the mix, but those are the three guys coming.
And then why not just bring one other? I don't understand
it. Ice. They're not, they're not doing the skate around. They're going to watch all these guys.
Yeah.
I saw calling games this year, whether it was Dubas or Brisebois or Armstrong, I saw them a lot up in the booth at arenas.
Traveling, scouting for their teams.
Everywhere, man. Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder how, the owners feel about that. Kind of double dipping a little bit. Well, Doug Armstrong, he's not 100% focused on what's going on with St. Louis because he's got to be focused on what's going on around the league.
That is the biggest clown thing I've heard.
What do you mean?
Of course he's interested in what St. Louis is doing.
Of course. I'm not saying he's not interested, but I'm saying he's got other things also on his mind.
Yeah.
Whereas
Brad, pick a team.
Well, Brad Treliving, right? He's not part of a management group here. Who else is he thinking about other than the Toronto Maple Leafs 24 hours of the day? No one. This guy's got to make scouting trips all around the league. Check out players that aren't associated with the St. Louis Blues.
Listen, if anything, it helps your team because you're in the building watching guys more than you normally would. If Doug Armstrong is watching Buffalo versus Buffalo versus Montreal.
Sure.
Or New York, yeah, sure. It's maybe that's a night of the week where he's actually going to be at home in St. Louis, but he's watching a game now. So it actually does help the St. Louis
pro scouting.
Blues. Yeah,
doing some pro scouting.
He's doing some pro scouting.
You're right.
He's
That's
got
what it is.
more eyes, in the building and around the league. I think it benefits the team having these guys in the building more.
One of the things we're going to do a little segment called ABCs It. I don't know if we got much time to do it.
ABCs.
Actually, you want to take a break and come back? There's one specifically about the Olympic roster construction.
Okay, let's do this. Let's go break. We'll do ABCs It. Hit me with your best bets, and let's get out of here.
Got it. All right. That's coming up. That's coming up next here on OverDrive.
Back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Overdrive continues on TSN 1050, TSN2, and on YouTube. Mike DiStefano and Frankie Corrado in. And we got that hockey night in Brampton tonight in the city. Austin Matthews is there representing the Toronto Maple Leafs, the captain of the team, at a local hockey event. You like to see it? I think I saw Chris Tanev, photo of him.
The boys are
in
out there.
attendance.
I think Gary Roberts is playing, Cujo's playing, but I think Cujo's out, like he's a player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought I saw
That'd be fun to see.
some viz of him and Gary Roberts on the ice, like passing and shooting pucks together, and Cujo was wearing player gear.
I'd imagine he hasn't strapped the pads in quite some time. Remember there was that there was a game a few years ago where people thought that Cujo was the E-Bug, and he was
He was at the arena.
He was at the arena.
Alumni box.
Yeah,
night.
and people thought that he was the E-Bug for the team. And I remember there was an injury or someone got hurt. And then the buzz was like, guys, the E-Bug could have been Curtis Joseph. Could have seen him strap the pads.
You talk about the roof blowing off of that place. Forget about a Matthews goal.
31. You see that guy wheel out onto the ice?
With the old Bauer pads.
Oh, the mask.
And the mask.
The mask. It's the best mask in Leafs history.
Yeah, they'll have to replace the roof if that happens. Cujo E-Bug. Biggest crowd pop Leafs would have all year.
It would. So someone asked Matthews about Mitch Marner, and he said, quote, we'll obviously miss him, and said that's kind of the business side of it. That's tough, but we're obviously wishing him nothing but the best, and we got to keep moving on. And I guess that's the right thing to say.
Like
right?
your stock kind of PR trained answer.
Yeah. What's he going to say? What else, I suppose? That's what you expect from him. But we talked about a new segment we're unveiling here. Only got a few minutes left, but it has to do with this. And it's a segment called ABC's It. ABC's It. So you either see it, I just see it happening, or you don't see it happening.
This is
okay?
brilliant stuff.
Brilliant stuff. Nothing like this has ever happened
for
before.
the regular season, by the way.
I think if it lands, we will definitely bring this back at some point. But ABC's this, okay? I see, speaking of Mitch Marner, I see Mitch Marner setting a new personal playoff points record in year one in Vegas.
Year one?
Year one. This year, Mitch Marner sets a new PR for playoff points with the Vegas Golden Knights.
I could see it happening because Vegas is a really good team. So, I mean...
Is he going to unlock himself in the like the biggest issue here in Toronto is that he didn't get it done in the playoffs.
It's not about the points necessarily. It's when the points come in the playoff
those
series.
Games 4 to 7.
That's
those
what it
stats.
is.
Yes.
That's what it is. So if it's games 1 through 3, sure, that you'll fine. But to do it when the games are really important, I think that's the biggest thing for him. But like now he's going to Vegas. Vegas, they lost this year, but they're a good playoff team. They're a
great playoff team. Won a cup a few years ago.
They win rounds pretty consistently.
Yeah.
I see it happening.
You see it happening?
I see it happening.
How about this one? We'll keep with the theme of the Toronto Maple Leafs here. Matthew Nyes will win himself a spot on Team USA's Olympic roster.
I'll say I see it happening.
See it happening?
Yeah.
You think he's got a shot?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm going to draw this comparison, but I think if Chris Kreider made the Four Nations team, I think Matthew Nyes with some younger legs.
It's a perfect player comparison.
Right, because it's like the big body, front of the net, maybe some younger legs, maybe a little more scoring touch there, although Kreider was he's 3 years removed from a 50-goal season, but Nyes is kind of trending up.
Yeah, maybe he's on the wrong side of things.
That could be your plug-and-play type player for that.
The other thing that I think, if like Ty goes to chemistry, and him and Austin Matthews, if they get off to a good start here in Toronto, in a tournament like that where you don't have time to create chemistry, you bring guys who have it, I think that could go in his favor as well.
That's a good point.
So I think there's a good chance we see Matthew Nyes there. We may have time for one quick one. Austin Matthews will rejoin the 50-goal club this season.
Oh, yeah. See it happening.
See it happening, eh?
If he's healthy, he's hitting 50.
Yeah. Marner's departure doesn't hinder him from doing so.
He still has Nylander. Could see Matthias Michelli become a guy.
Yeah.
Well, like what he was a couple years ago.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
All right, we see it happening.
Hit us with the bets.
All right, today's best bets are powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Doogie's Surgical Bets. What do we got, Dukes?
Let's do it, fellas. We're going with the Yankees at the Rays tonight. Yankees tying the franchise record for 9 home runs in a game.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with the Yanks on the money line. We're going to pair that with an Aaron Judge home run. They're smacking it out of that park. And a Chandler Simpson hit in the game that's totaling plus 481 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Today's best bets are powered by FanDuel. The first inning means as much as the ninth when you bet baseball on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 19 plus, and physically located in Ontario.
Wow. Good stuff.
Good stuff, Doogie.
Good stuff,
Thanks for
Doogie.
coming in hot there.
Of course.
About time. Actually,
You
this
got
is
it.
a
Hey.
good show. You got some great guests today, dude.
Thank I
you,
do
sir.
want to give you a big shout out today. The lineup we had for the show was excellent. I had a lot of fun, Frankie.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it was a great show, and yeah, that does it for me for the week. I was in here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off the next couple of days. I think Tat Man will be in the seat here.
Tat Man?
Tat Man. I think Struddy's back on the show at some point this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, should be a fun little show.
And next week, one more week. I think I'm in 3 times next week, and then that's it. The boys are back.
I'm on GP for a majority of next week, and then
Not that
Labor Day.
anyone cares where we are or what we're doing. But
no one cares in the slightest. But yeah, the Tat Man, he'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. He'll chat then.
Previously on The Amazing Race Canada.
They cannot be for real. Run, run, run,
The pressure of the past left teams on pins and needles in Prince George.
We have a strong chance of being passed.
This game's getting heated.
Sorry, guys, we're picking Jesse and Jonathan. We love them, but it's got to happen.
Best friends Jesse and Jonathan used their superfan savvy.
When we get there, we're wondering if you can let us get to the passport first so you can unpass us, and we'll do the same for you.
Absolutely.
To avoid another attempt to send them home.
1, 2.
And work their way to the top yet again.
Y'all are team number 1.
Mwah! I got this.
The Rebeccas raced in sync, nabbing their best finish yet.
Second!
We're moving up in the world.
Ika and Dimitri.
They saw us. Noted.
Oh,
Ika and Dimitri sank in the ranks.
Made our first enemies of the game.
At the hands of